Around 1440 in Mainz, Germany, goldsmith Johannes Gutenberg was perfecting a machine that would transform civilization. This machine would break the Church's monopoly on knowledge, fuel the Protestant Reformation, accelerate the scientific revolution, and make the Enlightenment possible. This is the story of the printing press, the machine that changed everything. Before Gutenberg, books were precious, rare objects copied by hand, usually by monks. A single Bible could take years. Books were so valuable, they were chained to shelves. Most people never saw a book in their lives. Knowledge was controlled by the church and aristocracy. The illiterate masses depended on priests to interpret scripture. Human progress crawled. Gutenberg's genius was combining existing technologies revolutionarily. He adapted the wine press to press paper against ink type with uniform pressure. He developed a metal alloy that melted at low temperatures and cast precisely. His greatest innovation was movable type, individual letters that could be arranged into any text, used, then rearranged. By 1452, Gutenberg printed the Bible. Completed around 1455, it contained over 1,200 pages with elegant, perfectly aligned type. He printed approximately 180 copies. A Bible that took years to copy could now be produced in months. The printing press had compressed time itself. But Gutenberg never profited. His financiers sued him. Gutenberg lost his equipment and died in 1468, probably poor. The technology spread like wildfire. By 1500, over 1,000 shops had produced approximately 20 million books, more than all European scribes had produced in the previous 1,000 years. Book prices plummeted. What had been luxury items became accessible to merchants and craftsmen. Venice became Europe's printing capital. Printer Aldus Manutius invented italic type and created portable books people could carry. He printed Aristotle, Plato, Virgil, and Ovid, preserving classical knowledge. Printing created new opportunities. Scholars could compare text versions, correcting centuries of errors. They discovered many supposedly ancient church documents were medieval forgeries, undermining church authority. Science accelerated. In 1543, Copernicus published his theory that Earth orbits the Sun. Andreas Vesalius published anatomical drawings correcting 1,400-year-old errors. Printed maps with precise details helped navigation. Columbus used printed maps. The age of exploration and printing press fed each other. The first regularly published newspaper appeared in Germany in 1605. News could spread in days instead of months. Pamphlets became weapons, short, cheap, quickly produced, spreading ideas to thousands overnight. Printing's most explosive impact came in 1517, when Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses to a church door in Wittenberg, challenging the Catholic Church's sale of indulgences. Someone printed his theses without permission. Within 2 weeks, copies spread across Germany. Within 2 months, all Europe had read them. Luther grasped printing's power immediately. Between 1518 and 1525, his writings accounted for 1/3 of all German-language books sold. He wrote in German, not Latin, making ideas accessible to ordinary people. His 1534 Bible translation standardized German and allowed Germans to read scripture themselves. The Catholic Church tried censorship with the Index of Forbidden Books in 1559. But censorship was futile. Printers moved to tolerant jurisdictions. Banned books were smuggled. Once information was printed, it couldn't be suppressed. The Protestant Reformation would have been impossible without printing. Previous reform movements had been crushed. But Luther's ideas spread too fast to contain. Within a decade, much of Northern Europe embraced Protestantism. Religious unity shattered. The printing press democratized knowledge. If anyone could read the Bible, who needed priests? If anyone could access medical texts or law books, who needed to defer to experts? Printing questioned authority itself. Education transformed. Students could own textbooks and study independently. Universities expanded. Literacy rates climbed from perhaps 10% in 1450 to 40% in Protestant countries by 1700. The printing press created intellectual property. Popular books could be pirated easily. Copyright law emerged, beginning with Venice's patent system in the 1470s. Authors gained rights to their work, revolutionary. Printed books required standardized spelling, grammar, and punctuation. National languages emerged: Italian, French, Spanish, English, German, rather than regional dialects. This linguistic standardization helped create national identities. The scientific revolution was unthinkable without printing. Galileo published telescopic observations contradicting Aristotelian cosmology. Newton's Principia Mathematica established laws of motion and gravity in 1687. Scientists could read each other's work and advance knowledge collectively. The scientific method depended on printing. By the 1700s, the Enlightenment brought printing's revolutionary potential to fruition. Voltaire, Rousseau, and Diderot challenged authority. Diderot's encyclopedia compiled all human knowledge in 28 volumes, designed to spread Enlightenment ideas. Governments tried banning it, but it was printed anyway. The American Revolution was fueled by pamphlets like Thomas Paine's Common Sense, which sold 500,000 copies. The Declaration of Independence was immediately printed and distributed. The French Revolution was preceded by political pamphlets questioning royal authority. The printing press made revolution thinkable. The 19th century brought steam-powered presses, dramatically increasing speed. The rotary press could print thousands of sheets per hour. These innovations made newspapers cheap and ubiquitous. Mass circulation newspapers created mass media. Public opinion became a force that could topple governments. Printing created mass literacy, which created demand for more printed material, which created publishing industries. Printing became the foundation of the modern information economy. The entire modern commercial media ecosystem traces back to Gutenberg's workshop. Reading became a private, individual act rather than communal. This encouraged individualism and critical thinking. Printing accelerated the pace of change. Ideas that would have taken decades to spread now spread in months. Human knowledge began accumulating faster than ever. Consider what the printing press enabled. The Protestant Reformation, scientific revolution, Enlightenment, modern democracy, universal education, nationalism, capitalism, industrialization, and the modern world itself. Every subsequent information revolution, telegraph, telephone, radio, television, internet, follows Gutenberg's pattern. New technology enables broader communication, which disrupts power structures and accelerates change. Gutenberg died in obscurity, but his invention shaped modernity more than any conqueror or king. The printing press broke monopolies on knowledge, empowered individuals, accelerated science, enabled democracy, and made education accessible. Today, when we publish online or share on social media, we continue what Gutenberg started, using technology to spread ideas beyond traditional gatekeepers. The digital revolution is the printing press on steroids. Technology democratizes information. Authorities try controlling it, but information wants to be free. In that Mainz workshop, Gutenberg created a machine that made knowledge unstoppable, ideas powerful, and change inevitable. The printing press proved that information, once freed, cannot be contained. It showed that ordinary people, given access to knowledge, could challenge emperors, popes, and kings, from those first printed Bibles to today's internet. Whoever controls information controls society. Gutenberg's genius was building a machine that took that control from the few and gave it to the many. The printing press didn't just change how we communicate. It changed what it means to be human. Creatures who can share ideas across time and space, building civilizations of unprecedented complexity. Everything that came after traces back to that moment when Gutenberg pulled the lever and the first printed page emerged, carrying words that could now reach millions. The revolution Gutenberg started continues today, and it will never stop.